The jungle was alive with the calls of exotic birds and the rustling of leaves. I stood there, mesmerized by the beauty surrounding me. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A giant elephant, his eyes blazing with fury, emerged from the thick foliage. He charged towards a small, colorful bird perched on a low branch. The bird, startled but seemingly unafraid, chirped nervously. The elephant let out a deafening trumpet, his trunk raised in a threatening gesture. I was paralyzed with fear, unsure of what was about to transpire. The elephant's rage was palpable. He swung his trunk violently, narrowly missing the bird. What could have possibly caused such fury in this magnificent creature? I had witnessed many displays of animal behavior in my years of filming in the wild, but this raw, untamed anger was something different. It was haunting, a glimpse into the depths of an animal's soul. The elephant spoke, his voice a low rumble that echoed through the jungle. "You! You brought this upon us!" he bellowed, his trunk pointed accusingly at the bird. The bird, clearly confused, hopped on the branch, its tiny head cocked in apparent inquiry. "My baby," the elephant continued, his voice cracking with emotion, "gone because of you." The words hung in the air, heavy with sorrow. I watched in stunned silence. The bird, small and insignificant compared to the elephant, seemed an unlikely target for such blame. It was then that the elephant closed his eyes, his anger momentarily forgotten, replaced by a wave of unbearable sadness. Images flashed through his mind. He saw himself just a few weeks ago filled with pride as his clumsy, playful baby took its first steps. The baby, full of life and joy, had stumbled around on unsteady legs, bringing laughter to the entire herd. He remembered the flock of pigeons that had descended upon the clearing that day, their iridescent wings flashing in the sunlight. The baby, distracted by the fluttering birds, had wandered away from the safety of the herd. It had all happened so fast. The baby, too close to the edge of the ravine, had lost its footing and tumbled down the steep slope. Section 4. The Weight of Grief. The elephant's sorrow was palpable. He relived the moment he and his mate reached their fallen baby. It was too late. The baby, its eyes closed, lay lifeless at the bottom of the ravine. The mother elephant's cries of anguish had echoed through the jungle, a heartbreaking symphony of pain and despair. "It was your kind," the elephant said, his voice a low growl. "Your kind that lured my baby away. You are to blame for this unbearable pain." The bird, sensing the elephant's deep sorrow, remained silent, its bright feathers drooping slightly. Section 5. A Mother's Sorrow. The elephant, lost in his grief, didn't seem to notice the bird's silence. He continued his mournful tale. He spoke of his mate, her spirit crushed by the loss of their child. She was a shell of her former self, her eyes holding a permanent sadness. She barely ate. Her once joyful trumpets now reduced to mournful cries that tore through his heart. The elephant's pain was raw, a visceral reminder of the power of grief. It was a side of nature rarely witnessed, the raw emotion of an animal grappling with an unbearable loss. The jungle, usually a symphony of life, seemed to hold its breath, the air thick with the elephant's sorrow. Section 6. A Glimmer of Hope. As I watched this heartbreaking encounter, I couldn't help but reflect on the complexities of grief and blame. The elephant, consumed by his pain, had misplaced his anger onto the bird, a creature that had nothing to do with his loss, yet I understood his need to find a reason, a target for his pain. The bird, although initially frightened, seemed to sense the depth of the elephant's sorrow. It remained still, as if listening to the elephant's pain. Could this small creature, a symbol of hope and resilience, offer some solace to the grieving elephant? Or would the elephant, blinded by grief, continue to lash out, perpetuating the cycle of pain? I could only watch and wait, hoping for a glimmer of understanding, a moment of healing in the heart of the grieving elephant.